Hey guys, welcome back to AlgoYogi. Now we are starting a new series which is two pointers, and it's not like a data structure but it's just an approach or pattern that legends of LeetCode, which is not me, by the way, but people who have been doing, LeetCode problems forever. They have come up this category called two pointers, and that's because this approach it comes out really handy when you are solving some problems around like array or a string, where it's just they're asking you to do some in place modifications, and then you gotta iterate basically over the array or a string, but just you gotta have few pointers, two pointers, more pointers, or whatsoever. But then you're trying to reverse something from the front, from the back, or from the middle, or something like that. So this comes really handy over there. So let's move on. Coming from linked list series that we just wrapped up, I think it's gonna come out really handy. The playing around with the pointers. So I think we're equipped enough to get in there and just do all the two pointers. There are a couple of there are about 16 17 easy problems, then most of them most remaining are medium, and then there's one hard. So let's get started with our first problem, which is reverse string. I'm sure it's so easy to do it, given we already know how we have reversed string and all, but we're gonna do it like two pointers, which is the most effective solution, by the way. So let me just remove this. Okay, never mind. So write a function that reverses a string. The input string is given as an array of characters. So basically it's an array of these alphabets or numerics or whatsoever, but these are just characters, they said. So you must do it in place, so no extra memory. So let's see what we are being asked to do. So we are given this array of characters S, and we gotta return. We don't have to return. It's just we have to in place change this array into its reversed array. So one of the way could be just you create another array, brute force, you create another array and then you start iterating it from back, and then just keep appending it, and then you basically assign S this array. That's it. That works, but that's not the most efficient solution, I would say. So how do we do it? How about we just, let me do this. So we're gonna use two pointers, since it's a two pointer category, and one of the pointer is going to be in the front and another will be in the back. So start, we can say, and then we're going to have end. And what we do actually is we iterate over this using a while loop, and then check while I'm just checking so you can see it. So while start is basically less than end, right? You don't have to reverse whatever comes in the middle, but we're gonna keep increasing my start pointer, decreasing my end pointer one by one. Doesn't matter what their length is. It's even, odd, does not really matter, as long as its start is lesser than end. What we want to do is we want to basically replace, we want to just swap. I don't mean replace. We want to just swap these two pointers values. So start will be the value present at start will be pushed onto the end index, and end index's value will be put onto basically the start index, and that's what's gonna happen. And you can do it it's happening in place until you reach the middle, which will be over here. We don't have to do anything with it, and in an even length array, that condition would not even arrive when they are equal, because they will never become equal. Here they become equal, but we're not checking for the equality here. We're just checking because in odd the middle doesn't have to get swapped with anything. So I think these are really easy problem, and I'm sure you might not even be watching this problem, just doing it. These problems are so easy. All right, let's write the solution. Okay, so as I said, we're gonna have start and we're gonna have end. So 0 and then length of the s, but let's just, because index starts at 0, so let's decrement it. So so we are not accessing the last index, which won't exist, by the way. So, and while start is less than end, then we're gonna have a temp variable. Let's take the value at start, let's store it in temp start, and then s end, let's assign it basically not end, let's assign start s end, right? And then s end can be now assigned the value temp, because start is overwritten, you guys already know this. And then let's just increment our pointers and decrement our end pointer. All right, that's it. I think that's the entire code. So easy. All right, then let's run it on examples and submit it. 100%. So let's talk about the time complexity. So time complexity is basically big of n, because we are basically visiting each element or each character, alphabet, whatever you guys want to call it. So we are just iterating entire length of the array and in place swapping until we reach the right in the middle. And space complexity is not also complexity would be big of 1. That's because that was asked to us and we have done it, not using anything extra. All right, let's go to AlgoYogi, mark this solved. See you guys in the next problem. Until then, bye bye.